okay, let's say there's a surprise wild card team to come out of the AFC. Like, none of us talked about the Raiders, the Patriots, the Steelers. If you had to pick one of those teams to possibly go on a run here, because as we've seen, anything is possible, who are you going with? And TD, I got to lead off with you as the number 1 seed Titans. When you look down the bracket, far down, TD, you're going to be relaxing this weekend. You know, on the bye, me and Alaina, we're going to be freezing out in Orchard Park, New York. Ben, you're going to be welcoming Paul Gutierrez out in Cincinnati. Paul's going to be, TD, you're going to be relaxing. But who are you watching for as a team that might be able to make a run here?
Oh, you want to say the Patriots, but I'm not sure that I could trust Mac Jones and Mac Jones being the quarterback to make those necessary plays. So for me, it's the Raiders. And I think when you look at Derek Carr as a quarterback, this guy is underrated. And he has that mojo, and I love the connection that he has with Zay Jones. Darren Waller, you talk about matchup problems. He's a guy just in talking to different defenders across the league. They don't like having to go against him, so he's a problem. But I think when you look at the defense, I love Max Crosby as a player. The secondary, there are some things to be questioned. But I think this Raiders team, there's someone that could catch fire and beat the Bengals and then go to Nashville and beat the Titans. The next thing you know, they're right there in L.A. playing for the Super Bowl.
Alaina, what are you thinking?
I'll go a different route to switch it up. I'll go with the Patriots because of Bill Belichick. And I also have some question marks about Mac Jones. I think we've seen him struggle at times, but I also saw them before my own eyes come into Orchard Park, and they didn't need Mac Jones to win that football game. They won it through running the ball and their defense. And I wouldn't put anything past Bill Belichick. I know this team has struggled at times. Obviously, they're coming into the playoffs on a wrong note. But if someone knows how to beat the Bills and then get to that next stage, it's going to be Bill Belichick and this Patriots team that's seen them already twice this year. So I think they have a shot. I think it is a question of how many games they could win, but they have a chance this weekend. And then who knows after that? And if Mac Jones can do enough, I think the team around them and having the best coach in NFL history is a leg up on some of these other teams. So I'll give them a chance. And I think you just never know when you get into the postseason. But also shouts to the Steelers because who knows with them? I feel like at this point it's just a roll of the dice. But if I had to pick, it would be the Patriots.
I seriously, I love what both of you said. Like, I probably could have made the case. I couldn't have said it any better for the Raiders or the Patriots. So now I'm curious what Ben's going to say. Who you got, Ben?
Yeah, I said Patrick Mahomes can throw to the Ohio River. Ben Roethlisberger, I don't know if he can play fetch with my dog right now. I don't really trust that arm. So I'm immediately ruling the Steelers out. I have to, as much as I want to hit Mac Jones on the low, because I do think Mac Jones is about to blow the rest of his career. I think he's going to be good for New England. I've got to go with the Raiders here, and I'll tell you why. I think Derek Carr is a very underrated quarterback. I think he does a very good job of what they ask him to do. Darren Waller is a matchup nightmare. We know how good tight ends can be and guys who can be effective in the pass game with his size and with his athleticism. That gives defensive coordinators a lot of problems. And you look at what Rich Bisaccia has done. I mean, to take over as the interim coach, to lose one of your best receivers, everything has just been phenomenal, the way that they've been able to rally throughout the year. And especially, this was a team that got handled by the Bengals earlier in the year in a game that got away from them. And I think that the Raiders, one of the big things you look at, how do you affect good quarterbacks? It's with elite pass rushers. And we've seen the numbers that Yannick Ngakoue and Max Crosby have put up. We saw the blueprint to how, the Bucs were able to beat the Chiefs recently in the Super Bowl. And I think that the Raiders have that if they can have guys who can make a difference on the edge. So I think right now, like we've said, the AFC is wide open. I don't think the depth is there for a wild card team to truly contend, if we're being honest. But if anybody has a shot, I've got to roll the dice and go with Vegas.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.